Welcome to Come and See, your podcast for finding truth in a world of chaos. Brought to you by All for Jesus Living Waters Ministry. With host and founder Richard Case and co-host and retreat leader Kathy Rocconi. Today is our special guest day, where we will hear from a friend of the ministry who will share their insight and stories on truth in this chaotic world. And now your host, Richard Case.
Well, good morning, Kathy. Today is guest day, and it's the 23rd of December, so it's right before Christmas season, and you and I have some very special guests. So,
yes, very excited to have Linda and Dan joining us again on Christmas Adam.
Yeah, so we've had them both on individually, and we're excited as couples. We get together as couples, and we just love being together. So. We might just talk to each other and forget about everything. It'll be fun. Kathy and I have been processing a discussion on overcoming fear, worry, and anxiety. And we'll have Dan and Linda share a little bit about that. And then we're going to get into talking about our Christmas approach and traditions. And it's kind of funny because we both, which we didn't really know that about each other, but we both basically love Christmas, and
yes, and we both may all go a little overboard. Is what I truly have understood.
And Dan, we heard that you've got the Chevy Chase
yes.
vacation house.
I am the Clark Griswold of the neighborhood. Yes.
So the pressure's on because Kathy said you are going to be in a contest.
Oh, did I tell you that?
Yes,
okay.
You did.
I wasn't sure if I had told him that yet or not,
Yeah.
but I did enter him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
So you got to let us know if you won or what place you got or.
Yeah, we need to see the pictures too.
That's
the
16th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
By the time this airs, we'll know because the competition will actually be December 16th. But this is airing on the 23rd, so we'll know by then.
When we were younger, we used to really go all out big time in outside decorations.
Yeah.
But as you get older and you don't have your kids and grandkids to do all the work anymore,
We
just don't get
slims down a little bit.
Yeah.
We do a lot outside, and by we, I do a little, and he does a lot.
You do a lot, yeah.
But when it comes time to take it down every year, I'm like, why do we do this? Why? Because that's all me.
Yeah.
And it's usually with snow and ice around.
Oh,
that's no
no.
fun. That is no fun.
Oh,
how do you handle all your extension cords?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I actually mapped it all out one year.
He's an engineer.
I drew it up and I have them all organized so nobody will trip over them. They're not any walkways. I won't hit them with the snow blower when I'm clearing the sidewalk. So I get it all organized and
Oh, that's great.
And every year I buy a couple extra extension cords and I never need them. So I have a whole box of extension cords I've never been using.
Right.
A whole box of extension cords just in case, and probably 7, 8 extra tree stands.
No, that is not true. That is not true. We have a couple of extra tree stands, but they've gotten taken over the years, and
that's true. We've
our
passed
son
them
took
out
one,
to people
passed them out to people, so we're down to just a couple of extra tree stands.
Are you using outdoor timers then for the?
Yeah, I have sensors
Yeah.
for all of them, so they come on in the afternoon.
And the lights that he does around the pool, the backyard he does in these all white lights. The front has a combination.
Beautiful.
The backyard is all white lights, and as snow comes, it actually looks like we have a skating pond in the backyard, the way that the light reflects off of it.
Yeah.
But he sets the whole backyard to music.
Oh, gosh.
The lights, they dance to the. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's like a winter wonderland.
We'll take a video. We'll send it. We'll send you.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
You would like it.
As we talk, first of all, about we've been talking about overcoming fear, worry, and anxiety. We shared briefly, but I wanted Linda to share because she's just has some wonderful things that happen. We were driving up in the mountains for the fall colors, which we do every year, and we go up for 2 weeks. So we get in the car, we're driving up, and Linda, I noticed that Linda was a little bit less exuberant than normal. So I said,
and
hey.
she is usually very exuberant.
Yeah, it's not hard to find out that something's wrong. So, hey, honey, what's going on? There's a lot of just things that, we've been kind of praying about, and they're not happening. Nothing's happening. A lot of delays, a lot of issues, and I'm just not seeing things happen. And I said, oh, well, why don't you write them down? And she always has her journal with her, so write them down, and then we'll start going through them. And so she did. And how many did you have?
I had 18. And they weren't small
That's
things
a lot,
either.
Linda.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a burden.
That's a lot.
It was a burden.
And so as part of it, she wrote the 18 down, and we had studied this, but she was reminded of this and looked into it. But what led you to then move into the
Well, the Lord
specifics of it?
took me into the Word on Daniel, the story of Daniel, where he was waiting for a
Talking
message.
about Moses?
No, Daniel.
Oh,
first.
Daniel first. That's right.
And so he's waiting for this answer, like we were waiting for our answers. And all of a sudden, the angel shows up and said, hey, I'm sorry. I've been in a 21-day delay because the prince of Persia has prevented me from coming down and giving you this answer, but I'm here now and I'm going to answer you. And so I go, that's it. We are having delays. These are all delays. So that's what this is about. And then he took me to the story of Moses and the burning bush in Exodus 3. And I never noticed this before, but it said that off in the distance, he saw this, the angel of the Lord came in this burning bush, and he saw this burning bush, but it wasn't being consumed, and he was intrigued by that. But it wasn't until he went to the bush and he focused and looked in the bush that God spoke and gave him instructions. And I said,
that's good.
That's it. We are not focusing on the burning bush. We got to focus on the burning bush. So that's when we were up in the mountains, and it was just the best time ever, because every day we'd get in the car and we'd go a different direction to go look at the leaves, and the colors were phenomenal. And so we would process each one, pray. Process the next one, pray. So we did that.
When you say process, what did that look like to you?
Process was asking God, what have you got to say about this? And then secondly, what do we know about it? Is there any information that we need to find to seek on this particular one or not? And so that's what processing meant to me.
Yeah.
And so we would pray. And then every day we would go out, and finally, on September the 23rd, breakthrough happened. So we go out to the car. We're going to go to Kenosha.
Kenosha is a pass that was about an hour away from where we were in Beaver Creek, but it's where there's brilliant colors all the time.
All the
during the
aspens.
fall.
Yeah,
All the aspens.
they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a special place for us, and we were going to drive to Kenosha because we were going to take the day, go to Kenosha, go to Fairplay.
So we go to the car, and Rich, we have a fob that unlocks our car. Well, it wasn't unlocking the car very well, and so it was hard. And Rich says, hey, we better go get a battery, because if we don't, we may not be able to get into our car, and we won't be able to go anywhere. So we go off to do that. We go to 4 different stores. They all have batteries, but not ours. So we're in Breckenridge.
no.
Yeah, I mean, all of them, but not ours. So then we went to Breckenridge, and we went to a hardware store there. And as we're walking into the hardware store, I said, hey, Rich, maybe God wants us to change our direction today. Maybe we need to do that, because it's getting too long for us to go to Kenosha. So we go in the store. We come out of the store. They didn't have it, of course. And so when we get in the car, we turn the radio on, And the first song that comes on is Hotel California. Now, I know it's silly, but there's a real God connection with that song and our grandson, who I absolutely adore. He's an amazing guitarist on the electric guitar. He can play that song perfectly. And so, but there's a whole thing about that, and it's a God thing. And every time that song comes on, I hear God say to me, Linda, I got something to say to you. Now pay attention. So I'm always alerted to that. Well, the next song that came on was Baby, What a Big Surprise, right before your very eyes. So I go, Rich, I believe God wants to surprise us today. And I think we just start looking for surprises that he's going to do. The very next song that comes on says, if only you believe like I believe in miracles, we would fly. And so I go, all right, Lord, when you were on the earth, you believed in miracles. Everywhere you went, there are miracles. So we're expecting miracles today. So finally we go to Frisco, we go to Walgreens, of all places. They have our battery. We buy a handful of them and stick them in the glove compartment. Well, we go the opposite direction. We go to a town called Kremlin. It's adorable. It's a small little cowboy town. We go to
cute.
It just was. And so we go to this restaurant. Rich goes to the bathroom, and I sit down. And then I notice at this table, not too far from us, are these little gray-haired ladies. They're so cute. But I notice on her sweatshirt is the big word, abide. Well,
oh, no way.
Of course I'm going to get up and talk to them and find out what's going on.
Of course you are. Of course.
So I go and find out that these ladies had come from Illinois from a women's conference, and they were teaching them how to abide. And then of course I've got to tell them all about us. So then we finished that God conversation. It was just him that put that together. I sit down. Rich comes out, and we order, and we're sitting there eating, and there's a local that comes in and sits down, and he gets his order in. And then the waitress comes over and says, hey, do you want to have your typical traditional cinnamon roll? And he goes, well, of course I'm not going to miss that. So Rich chimes up and he goes, what's this about? And so she
he doesn't want to miss out on
he
the
don't want to
cinnamon
miss
roll,
out
does
on
he?
the cinnamon roll. So he says, what is this about? And she says, well, our 80-year-old grandmother makes fresh cinnamon rolls every day for the restaurant.
Ooh, I want to go there.
They are huge. They're huge, and they're thick, and you can smell. She uses real cinnamon because you can smell it when she brings it out. He takes a bite out of it, and you guys, it just like choked him up, and he goes, this tastes just like my grandmother's when she made it, which was
so sweet
25 years ago. I mean, it was just like unbelievable. So that was a breakthrough that started everything else. Every day we would go out, we would go to Minturn, we'd see eagles. We'd see an eagle. Every time we went out, we would see an eagle. It was just unbelievable. And eagles mean a lot to me, and I did have a podcast where I talked about how God's used that this year for me, but at any rate, it was great. So then we decided to go to Aspen, and which we love. It was really special, and so we go, and then we go the back road to Snowmass, and on the way we're going to the Snowmass, in the sky is a swirl of eagles. And I know there was something they were after big, because they were all hovering to eventually get down there and get whatever it is. So I take a picture and I go, oh my gosh, there's 7, because what I saw, I counted 7. But when I opened the picture, it was 9. So to make a long story short, we are coming home, and we are about a mile from our gate to get into our property. And the song that comes on is Don't Stop Believin'. So Rich says to me, Linda, are you going to stop believing? And I go, no. I go, Richard, are you going to stop believing? And he goes, no. So we get home, I get my journal, I get my highlighter, and I start highlighting all the ones that had been answered. And there were all kinds of other incredible surprises that were even ones that we never had on the list that were happening all the time, every day. So I counted them. There were 9. There were 9 Eagles, and there were 9 off. And so it was really cool. And so now what we say is, I think on this particular issue, we need to go to the burning bush. we need to go look at the burning bush because there's delays on this one.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's pretty cool. And so you went from
heavy-hearted
to rejoicing because why?
Yeah, and I think everybody may have a sense of the joy that you had just from the way you shared that.
It was so exciting, and God was so amazing, and the surprises, he wants to surprise us. He loves that. And it's like, it's Christmas time, so he loves doing Christmas surprises all year long. So
I love that.
Well, thanks. That was fantastic. Well, Dan, maybe you could share a little bit. I know you've, with your business, had an interesting trying year, and you've had a little bit of anxiety going. How have you dealt with some of that?
Well, first of all, I never follow Linda in telling a story.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
I really should have gone first.
We should have reversed this. We should have reversed this. Yeah.
And I will not sing either. So. Yeah, so
she's gonna bring on an animal and kids next.
Yeah, right, exactly. Never. So I run a small manufacturing company, and it's been a trying time. But recently, one just popped in. One thing God has worked on me over the last 18 plus months is, first revealing to me how easily I let my circumstances dictate how I'm feeling.
Yeah, sure.
And that is not what he wants from me. And so he's revealed that. He's been working on it. So we actually, we have several manufacturing lines, extrusion lines that we run. And one of them, we basically took some time and updated the whole line, new equipment, new electronics and so forth. And it all went very smoothly. And then we went to run for the first time, and we could not run anything.
Oh my!
And this is not that long ago. This is actually just a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh no!
And so, when it first starts off, you're like, yeah, okay, they're just figuring stuff out, and it just keeps going, and they can't get it right, and they can't get it right. And it did. It threw me. And I let it get to me, and I started worrying. I'm like, this money we spent, and if we can't run our products, and the lead time to get
bread and butter products.
Yeah, it's our highest margin products, and our customers are waiting for them, and there's already supply chain issues anyway, this is not a good thing. And God pretty quickly just get into my word. I closed my office door. It took me right to Psalms, and just and that David in that pit and worried and concerned, and then just coming out of it. And I'm like, okay, God, it's probably still going to take me a while. That first response still isn't where it needs to be. And the next day, everything is running perfectly.
Wow.
It was just some learning curve. The guys, figuring the equipment out, and, some different temperatures and so forth. And I know that these, and God's just kind of like, why are you putting your faith in fear when that has always let you, it's never as bad as you think it's going to be. It's never good. It always works out. Just put your faith in me and in hope. And so It's a journey. I'm not saying I'm there yet, but he's definitely been working on that. But
That's neat. So
That's
is your line all working well and keep working well? Or?
It much better than it was a definite upgrade. So it's running very well. Much tighter tolerances and less having to fiddle with it, and and it's going to even get better because these guys are learning. It's a different system, very similar, but it has some different tweaks to it, and they're figuring it all out, and it will be much better off for it. So
wow, that is great.
And as you said, God said, well, come and spend time with me. What did going to the Word? What did that do for you in terms of overcoming that fear and anxiety?
Yeah, it definitely is just calm, just to sit and be in the Word and just to be at His feet, but also, the Psalms that he drew me to, were just perfect. And just speaking of, I'm not going to let this turn out bad for you. I'm your God, you're my child, and so it's on the one side, it's just that, okay, just take a step back, take it to God, get into that habit. You should do this every time right away. You take too long, do that. and then it's encouragement and it's wisdom, and this is going to work out, and I can go out and be the leader that He's calling me to be in the company, and not emotional and not getting everybody else worried and worked up, and and everybody can do their job and we can move forward.
Well, and we've spent the last few days anyway on the podcast talking about covenant loyalty and just what an important part that is about in terms of overcoming anxiety and fear and worry. And I think that's a lot of what He spoke to you also in the Psalms was remember my steadfast love, remember my covenant loyalty. I am with you in this, And I have promised blessed to be a blessing.
Exactly, and remember the promises I've already put out there.
Right.
I'm going to complete those. I am faithful, and reminders of those promises that He has for the company. Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. Obviously, it's quick. It was quick. I was like, wow, look at this. God fulfilled it. Same thing for us. We had that list of 18 immediately, literally within hours of that time when I started eating that cinnamon roll from my grandma, we started seeing things happen. Like things that were roadblocks just got cleaned up, and we'd get a phone call, hey, by the way. But as you said, Kathy, we were trusting in the covenant loyalty, and so the other 9 that weren't yet resolved, but they were in process of being resolved. And in process meaning God said, I'm going to do it. Here's the step I need you to take. Kathy and I talked about waiting. Yeah, it's not resolved yet, so just take the next step. It'll be resolved. And we've seen a lot of them since then. Now they've been resolved. Some of them still are in process. And by the way, what happened? We got more.
Oh, well, the list shrinks, but the list also comes back with some new things that you didn't know about. But, once you realize that the delays can be for all kinds of reasons, you don't know what, so you just have to focus on what God has to say about it. And is there a step that I'm supposed to take with this? And then pray that God, whatever He's telling us, pray that into existence, and He will do it.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, we wanted Dan and Linda to share a little bit about a real example of what Kathy and I have been talking about. But we also, because this is Christmas week, we wanted to share. You've heard Kathy and I talk about how important that is to us, and it really is, and we're both excited about it. So maybe Dan and Kathy, you could start and share with us what are some of the stuff you do at Christmas. How do you make it so it's rejoicing, really beautiful to enjoy, and all the things you do to make it that way? Because it could be, a lot of people, by the way, go the opposite direction, and it's stressful, difficult, and oppressive. But you've learned, and we've learned, well, no, it's a beautiful time, but it takes an effort on our part to walk into it. So what are the things you do? What are the things you do?
You want to start?
Well, just one practical thing that's always made it nice is we actually start kind of early thinking about the shopping and kind of, we're both planners anyway. But it's really nice to get to, early in December and really be able to say, okay, we're kind of there. We don't have to rush and do all this stuff. So that just, and it's that whole idea of margin and bandwidth to really, step into the,
so that when we get to this part of the season, it really is more about celebrating and enjoying being together and enjoying hosting things,
right?
And
well, and we're in a neat season of life, and we're very fortunate. So we fortunately our kids all enjoy each other and enjoy us still, so that's really nice. And so that's that's the big thing is coming together and celebrating this time of year and the birth of Jesus, but as a family. So it's really a lot of family. And then we've been over the last number of years, God's really leading us to open our house up more, and so it's been nice. We've done some worship nights this time of year, and the friends and neighbors really like that, so we're going to try to do a couple of those. That's really fun for me to be able to kind of share the blessings that we have. A lot of people don't enjoy the season as much as we do, and so trying to make it a little nicer for them. So,
and they enjoy coming into the house because our house is so decorated too. Just coming in, and usually we tell them, bring nothing, just bring yourselves, come and enjoy. And we enjoy fellowship, we enjoy worshiping together and just focusing on what Christmas really is. And so that's been sweet.
But we've been we've been doing this for a lot of years with the kids, and they all enjoy it. They all get excited for it. But Anna's 17.
Anna was just on the podcast not long ago. Yeah.
She's still, she gets so excited. She's so funny because all the traditions have to happen exactly the same. Nothing we actually, I'm thinking about going to a different tree farm get the tree this year. No, we can't go.
I have to go to that one, and I need my candy cane from him. And
the same guy's been giving her the little candy cane at this tree farm since she can remember. So
we have kids in our 40s, and they still approach everything the same way. Nope. We want to do. We want to have this tradition. It's amazing how important that becomes. By the way, that's one thing that you did and we did is build traditions into your process. Do things the same way every year and have things. We'll share a little bit about what ours are, what yours are, but it's find things that everybody likes in the family, and then literally if you do them year after year, it's remarkable. Even our kids and your kids, they still love that, and they actually don't want to change it. It's interesting.
Right.
What are some of the traditions that you guys do?
Well, this is not at all a God-centered one, but it's probably one of the funniest traditions that we do and that we still do. We started when the kids were little. Christmas Eve night. Am I sure what you were thinking? Christmas Eve night, we move mattresses into everybody sleeps in our room. We all sleep in our room.
Oh my.
So our floor is covered with mattresses so that everybody can still be in there, because I don't want Christmas Eve or Christmas morning when everybody wakes up, I want us to all wake up at the same time and to all go, it has to be exactly as I like it to be.
She doesn't sleep Christmas. She's so excited she doesn't sleep Christmas.
So I don't sleep Christmas Eve.
Waiting
the kids
for Santa,
are sound
right?
asleep.
Right. And I remind her if she's not asleep, Santa will come.
Santa, come on, just
Oh, that's kind of fun.
But our kids still do that to this day.
Our adult kids.
Our adult kids all pile. We put the mattresses down and they pile in.
Oh, I love it.
Fun.
I love it.
And they wouldn't trade it for the world. They look forward to coming up, and even Dan and I'll stay downstairs and get things ready for in the morning and whatever, and we come up and they're laughing and giggling together because they're all in the room together, and it's just a source of joy. But they've done it since they were little and forevermore.
Oh man, great. What other things you do?
No.
This isn't a tradition anymore. It was a 1-year tradition. The lanterns that you light.
Oh, this was so
Oh
bad.
my
and
gosh.
they float away.
Yes.
We wanted
Yes.
this to be
So-
a tradition. It's a good thing it wasn't.
So I got the great idea. I saw one at a store, and I got the great idea that, well, I'll tell the kids that this is the signal to show Santa where our house is.
Yeah.
So we go out in the road. I don't even think they're legal in New Hampshire. Nobody's going to
And
see this, right?
Woods everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, trees and woods everywhere.
This is years ago, by the way. I didn't start any fires. And get out with one of the kids, and we're about to go see drive and see, so we do pajamas and hot chocolate and go see Christmas lights. That's a tradition we keep doing. Out there with one of the kids, we light it fills up, and I let it go, and it starts going, and I'm just praying it clears the tree line. And it did, barely. And you could see it
so
forever.
fun.
It was really cool.
It
You could see
stayed
it forever.
lit for so
but
long.
I know that was one and done. I was
Well, and we did actually follow it because we,
Yeah.
like he said, Christmas Eve. One of the things we do once we come home from church on that night and everything, when we go and we'll read. 'Twas the Night Before Christmas together, and then we read the Christmas story together. But we all we open up pajamas, and we all put on our Christmas pajamas and read the Christmas stories and make hot chocolate and load up in the car in our pajamas with our hot chocolate and go look at Christmas lights. So this year, after we did that, we followed that lantern everywhere to make sure it didn't burn anybody's house.
and it did. It did.
So that it had real fire in it?
Yeah,
Oh,
a little charcoal thing that you light.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not the best idea
Yeah,
we ever
no.
had
Yeah,
in
that-
wooded New Hampshire.
Yeah. That would have been about 5 years. They would have burned a few things down.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's
Oh,
interesting.
it could have been bad.
Yeah. And you said you go out and you go out with Hannah and cut down a tree, or do you cut the tree down, or?
No, we have before. We just
did
go to
get
a,
away from that a little bit finally.
yeah. With it, so we go to. There's just a nice tree lot that we go to, but
Yeah.
it's got to be that same one. And
Yeah. But a lot of the tree farms around here don't have tall enough trees for us anymore.
yeah,
I bet
So-
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's and if you want a certain type of tree,
yeah.
I'm not giving up my special kind of tree.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like the fattest, tallest thing we can find usually.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think one of our
Well-
other fun ones.
So, a lot of people have the tradition of opening up pajamas Christmas Eve
Yeah.
night.
We do.
And so we were starting that tradition. So Josh, the oldest, was 3 years old.
No,
Two.
this was Caleb wasn't even born. This was in Bedford.
So he was 2.
I was pregnant. He was 2.
And so he understood enough to know he was opening a present Christmas Eve, and the rest of them were the next day. My mom was visiting, and he
Oh, it was bad.
he opens it up, and he takes the PJs out, and he looks at them.
And mind you, we always got Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve at our house.
Yeah.
And so this was a tradition for us growing up, and I couldn't wait to do that with him,
Looks at the pajamas, he puts them down, he stands up, and he gets about a third of the way up the steps before he just breaks down crying.
Oh, no!
Well, he thought he was getting a toy.
You mean this is
No.
it? This is it?
It was
But-
a little bit worse, though. It was
What-
a little. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it was a little bit worse though because Dan's
Grandma,
mom
yeah.
was here
Oh,
visiting,
yes.
and she knew, Josh was, excited about opening the present, and she's like, "Oh, you are so lucky you get to open a present. I used to only get to open pajamas."
So, but
That made it a little bit worse than when he opened pajamas.
Oh my God.
but that birthed a new tradition that so Christmas Eve morning they would open a toy, and it would usually be like a arts and crafts book or
Right. Or a
Or a
something,
game that they could
board
play
game.
together.
and then they could play that while we were prepping the food and all the stuff you need to kind of get done Christmas Eve. That
Yeah.
was an active. So they opened up one present that's fun and entertaining, and then the pajamas that evening. So that's
Right.
that became a new
But
tradition.
That tradition started.
You make it,
and to this day, I have a package to mail to Josh and Emily,
Yes.
so that they'll have a Christmas Eve morning gift to open,
Oh.
because they won't be with us for
Right.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then a Christmas Eve evening present for them to open, which you can probably guess what's in that one.
Of course.
a toy. Well, we
So
also,
much fun.
We also do the decorate early. We talked. You talked about it. We talk about it. Because we know the season kind of speeds up, so to speak, and activity. You got your company party to go to. You got a variety of things you got to do, and so we decorate about mid-November. We'll decorate fundamentally. Again, we talked this year. Linda had her dining room table just Thanksgiving, but the rest of it was all ready. And you guys, I think, how many trees you got now? 9.
9. But
yeah,
I found a
so
hole
we-
for a new one. Next year it's going to be 10.
Okay.
Oh boy, we got 9.
I found a new spot.
Yeah. we have 9 in our house, but we get them all. So we plan ahead and get decorated. And Linda's got some help, and I have a guy that helps and brings totes up and takes them down. So we have some assistance with that. But also we plan, because like what you said, particularly now with the supply chain issue.
Right.
Is we thought about gifts and things that would be important, and what we've tried to do is buy things that are going to be meaningful, not just to have them, but to be meaningful. And so we think of the relatives and our family and our kids and grandkids, and so we'll usually start buying around the end of October.
Well, and sometimes if we went to Europe, we always bought things in Europe.
Yeah.
Brought
And,
it back.
so we get them ready, and so like you say, by the time now, the beginning of December, we have everything's
Done.
pretty well done. We got freedom with it, and then we have numerous traditions too. What are some of the ones that you? I know that Linda's really been a promoter of tradition, so she's really helped us.
Well, Christmas Eve is really special because we do go to church, but when we come back, we have this shrimp chowder soup that we make, and everybody has a part in that. And so there's somebody doing the cheese, somebody deveining shrimp. So we put it all together, and then we have that. And then Peter, because some can't have seafood, he makes his onion soup. And so we have that with a dinner. And then after dinner,
We found out, by the way, one year early. This is when we were doing it. Everybody had to peel shrimp, of course, and we put it in the garbage disposal.
who did?
I did.
He did.
And I found out that it doesn't go down to
It
garbage
doesn't go
disposal.
down.
So it plugged the entire thing. I had to go get. I had to get the shop vac to suck it out.
Suck it out.
We're like, that didn't work.
That was disastrous. So then we also do our own little fun. When the kids were small, we'd put reindeer ears on, and we'd sing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And we'd have bells, and we'd do jingle. So we would do songs and fun songs, and then we'd read the Christmas story, and we would read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," and then we would have a candlelight service with.
Yeah, we had a candlelight service.
With
Nice.
singing
It's a good
silent,
idea.
singing
That is a good idea.
silent
Maybe we'll add
night.
candles to ours this year.
Yeah, you can buy them. You can buy them with the little handles.
Yeah.
The paper.
It's a
and
great idea.
You can buy those. We buy those, and then we sing Silent Night. We have a time of prayer.
let's do that.
Let's do that,
It is cool. It is really cool.
Sounds fun.
So then, what Rich and I, when the kids were smaller, of course they're 40 and this doesn't go well, and then also when our grandkids were smaller and they're teenagers now, I would dress up as Mrs. Claus, and he would dress up as Mr. Claus, and we would go to their bedrooms and wake them up and say, "Hey, Santa, we're here! Come on down! Presents! It's present time!" So that was always fun.
I think you should do that again this year.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think you should revive.
We need
it.
a video of that.
We still have
we
the
still
outfits.
have the outfits, that's for sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one just popped to mind. So obviously we really try to lean into blessed to be a blessing in this time of year.
Yeah.
So we would set aside, and we do a big Christmas, but we try not to lose sight of the time of year, and so we would set aside some funds to bless other people.
Yeah.
But we really got the kids involved in that,
Yeah.
and helping to make those choices. And I think that was good It's not
They've
all about
always
them, not
loved
all
that,
about the
yeah.
presents. But one neat one was we would have a fund to over tip.
Yes.
So if going to a restaurant in December, and we would ask the father, what do you
Yeah.
what do you think God's saying? And sometimes
And,
no, I don't.
and the whole family would.
And the whole
would,
family.
we're out to
yeah.
dinner, and they would, okay, I feel like God's saying something. Do you think we're supposed to? And that sort of thing.
And one
It was
year, we still had a chunk left, and it was Christmas Eve, and we were going out to we went out to a lunch.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the day before, because I can't remember, but it was really close.
I think it was Christmas Eve's lunch.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we were going out on our way to.
And sure enough, God had delayed us from doing that, because our waitress was this younger lady with kids, and
I still picture her.
was
She hadn't
only
done
working
any of her
till
shopping yet either.
yeah, she was only working like through lunch, because she needed the time off, because she was going to go buy presents for her kids, because she had been so busy,
But
and
had
so
no idea how she was going to.
and then
afford
to be
anything.
able to
Yeah.
slip a nice tip in there and kind of scoot out was
Oh,
that was
that was a
cool.
blessing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That
really
Yeah, the
fun.
kids always love that. Yeah.
Yeah, we, Linda particularly, at Christmas time, we pray, and she purposely prays that, same thing, it's like, we're gonna have a bundle of extra money, cash, and we're gonna bless people, as God so leads. So we
Exactly.
we were shopping, picking up kids, stuff for our kids and grandkids, and we're kind of at different spots in the store. And Linda is looking at this one toy, but you notice, what did you notice?
Well, I looked down the aisle and I saw this little boy holding a toy and rocking. And so I knew I needed to find out what was going on. So I went there, and he said, I said, you really like that toy? And he says, yeah, I really do. I really wanted it for Christmas, but my dad said we can't afford it. And so I go, okay. So I go, we're going to go find Rich. So we go look for Rich. And I said, Rich, this is what's going on with this young man. We got to find his dad. We need to buy this for him for Christmas. So we end up finding his dad. He's in the checkout line. There is an older brother there. And so we asked him, we would like to buy this for him for Christmas. And he was very grateful, very thankful that we would do that. And we just said, well, what church do you go to? And the father says, oh, yeah, we go to church. And the son says,
No, we don't.
no, we don't. We do not go to church. We used to go to church, but we don't go to church anymore.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, God wants to bless you guys like this and bless your socks off. But you got to get back with him. And so we leave.
So we check out, and the little boy is excited, and so we're walking to the car, and Linda says, hey,
Oh my gosh, we didn't think about
you
the
know that there was
older
another
boy.
kid in line, we didn't get him nothing.
So I run and they're going into their car, and I run and grab him, and I say, okay, I know you want something too for Christmas, so we're going back in. And he is so excited. I knew exactly what I wanted.
I love it.
So we run in and we get his toy too that he wanted for Christmas. And I said, you guys get back to church, get back to God. He wants to do this for you.
Yeah, like you say, I think that's
So sweet. Hang on, Rich. I don't know if you can adjust anything volume wise. We're losing you and Linda on the volume.
okay.
If our listeners can just hold tight, I don't know if they're having the same issue. So I just want to make sure we can hear you well.
Hold on, let me see what happened here. We're low volume on even the recording here, so hold on a minute. Let me see what testing 1, 2, 3.
Want me just to take over?
Go ahead, Dan. Why don't you go ahead? You guys share a minute. And
Oh, that's coming back.
it's starting
Oh,
to
yeah.
come back now. There we go.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I just didn't want to lose anything that you guys were saying, and I
Yeah,
didn't know how it was recording.
yeah, that's funny. I wonder
Okay, so what I do want to share
why. Okay.
is this is well over 40 years ago. What was important for me was that our children knew the real meaning of Christmas, and the focus wasn't on Santa
Absolutely.
and presents. So what we did every night, there's a thing called the Jesse tree, and I made this Jesse tree, and there's ornaments, and each ornament represents a part of the lineage of Christ. So Noah's Ark, you'll have an ark ornament, you'll put that on. The apple, Adam and Eve. So everybody that is in the lineage of Christ is for 24 days. And so every night,
Oh, wow.
every night we did Advent. So we did the 4 candles. We would light the candle the first week. We'd light 2 the second week. So we did our Advent. And then we taught our kids a memory verse, Isaiah 9:6. Unto us a child is born. Isaiah 9:6. I'm sure they can all say that. And so we taught them a memory verse. And then we also taught them the Christmas carols. Because where else are they going to learn it except from us? So they each got to do one of those things. They either got to light the candle, or they got to put the ornament on, or, whatever, and put the memory verse up. So that's what we did for the whole month of December. And it was very meaningful. It just really kept our focus on the real reason, and it was about Christ and his coming, and it's a preparation. That's what Advent is all about. It's preparing our hearts for his birthday.
Yeah.
So that was very special. And then I do have to tell you, we all have our stockings, yes. But we also have another stocking, and the name on it is Jesus. And so the Jesus stocking is, I take 3x5 cards, and I put everybody's name on it, and I put the year. And those cards go in Jesus' stocking. And so Christmas Eve, or Christmas Eve, we pull Jesus' stocking out, and everybody random picks one. And that's the person that they are to write what they saw, what life changes they had in their life, what they wanted to encourage that person, anything they felt that God wanted them to say to that person.
And how they're going to pray for
Oh,
him
I
next year.
love that.
And
I like that.
Yeah.
and how they're going to pray for him that year.
Yeah.
And so that was just really
That's awesome.
super cool.
That's a great idea. I love
Yeah.
that.
And I keep mine that I receive. Where I shave, I have them lined up. Literally, I've got the last 5 or 6 of them years. And interesting enough, and remember, it's all random.
Right.
All 5 are from my grandson Aiden.
Oh,
And
That
so
is
it's fun to see these sequencing, what he said 5 years ago and what he's saying now.
Right.
So it's really
Yeah.
fun.
And then the other cool thing that has really been amazing is Rich spends time praying verses, and he puts the verses on for all of us. There's 7 of us, so he has 7 verses. And New Year's Eve is when everybody puts it in a bowl, and everybody pulls out a verse, and that's their verse for the year. And
cool.
it is so amazing how God has the right verse for the right person every year.
Oh, I love that.
Every year.
Yeah, our New Year's process. So yeah, traditions are fun, and it's just it's such a special time. And as Kathy and I have encouraged, and you guys are expressing, and we are too, is it's a little bit about how you approach it,
Right.
and building tradition, and like you said, I love what you guys in terms of giving it away and teaching your kids to give it away, so that the joy of generosity and seeing somebody else light up because you were able to bless somebody. It's just, what a great time to do that,
It
so
is.
we love it, and Christmas is so special. We encourage everybody to relax and hope you enjoy. Of course, this will be the 23rd, but you can enjoy hopefully the next few days and the week in between.
Yes.
And Dan and Kathy, anything else you'd like to contribute or add to the importance of Christmas for you, or what else you could suggest for everybody? Or
I wish that everybody could have Dan's homemade lasagna. Like
Ooh, hey. All right.
now we're
Dan,
now we're
you're
now
on.
we're talking.
You are
Now
on.
we're talking.
So we need to have your shrimp soup, and
Yes.
y'all
need
need to have
Dan's
Dan and
lasagna.
Anna Christmas Eve make the noodles from
Oh
scratch.
my gosh.
They roll
how
them out and
great.
everything.
Oh, yes, I
And
gotta have
so
this.
our big meal is Christmas Eve.
Do you
their
do that?
homemade
Do you
lasagna.
do that? Do you do a beef bolognese type, or what do you put
Yeah.
in?
Beef, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
There's pork in it too, isn't
Pork-
there?
I'm sorry, it's sausage.
Sausage.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm-
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Sausage.
All right, well, we're counting on that.
Yeah.
It's really good. Nothing healthy about it, but it's so good.
Well, if you guys, if you come out for the leader ski trip with Dan, you can make lasagna for us.
Oh
There you
my
go.
gosh.
There you go.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
We were in Germany. We had a retreat in Germany, or no, we were in Italy with her German cousin came, and he and John Sanafaro, who's John's Italian, made homemade pasta, and they made what, 6 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Six
That's
different
Different.
different
Wow.
types of lasagna or the pasta that we ate
Oh, fun.
one night, and of course we had it for the next several days.
And we gave
Yeah.
we gave the owners a lot of food.
Oh yeah, like,
A
yeah.
lot of
That's
leftovers.
great.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's
Well,
great.
we wish you guys Merry Christmas.
Yes,
and,
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes,
you might,
Merry
say
Christmas
hi
to
to-
you
Bless
guys.
you
Say hi to
guys.
all your kids. You know that we've had the privilege of knowing and learning and
Yes,
to be, and what a privilege, what a
absolutely.
joy they
We're
are.
so grateful for
And
you guys.
we can picture how beautiful your
Uh-huh.
celebration.
Well, actually, we would like pictures.
yes.
All right.
Yes, we need to send you
We
some
need
for sure.
to see the pictures.
Yeah, yeah. So we're excited. So everybody, we wish you Merry Christmas.
Yes.
Kathy and I are gonna tomorrow for Christmas Eve have a short. It'll be a short broadcast, but it's going to talk about the history of the carols, and
Right.
I'm talking about specific carols. How did they?
Yeah, because we kind of got started on that when we hit a verse that had the Hallelujah chorus.
That's right.
That's
right.
great.
Kathy said, "Hey, that's the Hallelujah chorus," and so we wanted to talk about that a little bit. So we're excited about that.
Fantastic.
and We'll share. So Merry Christmas, Dan. And
Merry
Kathy,
Christmas, Dan and
Merry
Kathy.
Christmas, guys.
Christmas to you guys.
Bless your
we
families.
So appreciate you.
Yeah, we
Well,
love
we
you
do
too.
with you
What a
guys.
joy
We
it
love
is.
you.
And we'll see everybody tomorrow, hopefully a little bit for Christmas Eve, and then the week after, in between, great time to listen to the podcast. Kathy and I'll have some more stuff on overcoming fear, worry, and anxiety, as well as getting prepared for the new year.
Yep.
So we're excited.
And hopefully you all got blessed with a little bit of joy and laughter.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
some of the stories today.
Amen. Have fun. Have a
Have fun. That's what it's
All right.
all
Christmas.
All
for.
right. Merry Christmas. We'll see you guys.
Thanks
Bye.
for joining us,
All right.
everyone.
Thank you for
Love you
joining
guys.
us for today's
Love
episode
you.
of Come and See, your podcast for truth in a world of chaos. Brought to you by All for Jesus Living Waters Ministry. Send us your questions and comments, and tune in tomorrow for more answers to your personal questions about living life in God's truth. Remember, God's will is best and none better. His truth brings peace in this world of chaos.